I'm still continuing. I just don't want it to be super long, just in case I'm not explaining something right. Can I live my life now? Not now. And it's like, you're not necessarily asking. By you going on a spiritual journey, you're reclaiming your life, you're righting your wrongs, you're clearing your name and all that stuff like that. And they don't want you to do that because they done so much stuff to you, and you probably went into your spiritual journey right when they grabbed your blessing and they were about to put it in motion and pretend to be you and all that stuff like that. And while they were preparing, God caught them. So God caught them red-handed, and now they have to, so now they're trying to come to you and be like, oh, I'm sorry, this, that, and the third. Can you please call off your angels and tell them, like, okay, you was just saying it. But no. Because there's so much stuff that they stole from you. It's your turn. It's your turn to live your life, to travel. And they're trying to block your heart chakras, or you need to focus on your heart chakra. They try to joke with you, compliment you, put you in a good mood. Also, they could figure out information on how to beat this case. That's how I'm going to explain it. They're trying to beat this case, and they need you to give them a pass. They need you to give them some answers. They need you to, like Carmen said, sometimes I help Corey cheat. Wanting to feel needed, good on your own, and stop you so you could depend on them. If somebody wants to control something, they need to get a pet, because that pet depends on you. And they will grow up, but they're incapable of going off on their own and buying a house and stuff like that. So if you feel the need to want to control somebody, get you a pet. Like, they hate the fact that you came from a abusive situation and you're not acting as if though you're abused. You may be uninformed about things, but that's what the family dynamic is supposed to do. They're supposed to inform you on things that you don't know. So if you're living with somebody and you know that you want to eventually get off on your own, the people that you live with, you made an agreement with them or made an arrangement or whatever, and was like, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to save my money, or I could pay y'all how much y'all want me to pay y'all, or whatever. And then your siblings or their children might be jealous because it's like, how you get to live in my parents' house but I had to move out and all that stuff like that. So they're probably jealous of you, and they're trying to stop your everything, because everybody has their own place, so they don't have to worry about being kicked out. So they're trying to disrupt your peace and your mind, thought process, and all that stuff like that, all because they're jealous of how their parents treated them growing up, but they're giving you a different type of treatment now. Okay, so set you up so you can go to jail and take the money for your kids, or you lose custody of your kids, all because you didn't beg to come back. So your parents, like a mother-daughter relationship, and y'all butt heads all the time, and God gave you a download to tell you, like, this was going to happen, and it actually happened. So your parent is aware of this little spiritual stuff, so they tried to stop you from knowing it, but you can't stop. Like, as a child, you could probably bind the powers. I get that from Charmed, from watching Charmed. But when you get older, you're going to have to, because you don't know what's going on with you. You're supposed to be on this path that God set for you, and people are trying to distract you from it because they're trying to cover up what they did to you, or they know how observant you are, and that you will put two and two together, and everything done in the dark will eventually come to the light. So I don't understand why they in certain situations, you know about what your family did, and you never took revenge on them, and they felt like, okay, well, since she ain't gonna take revenge, I could keep doing what I'm doing. And obviously they needed to let up, but then you realize that they're narcissists and they don't really care. They only care about themselves. And it's like, well, if you're going to be like that, I'm definitely not. And that's when you stop sparing people and you started saying everything about everybody, to the point where you even said something about yourself, because you're trying to clear your name and you trying to let it be known, like, no, they try to trauma bond me, use tactics to get me into a depressive state so that I could agree and all this stuff. It has to be your idea. So they tried to manipulate you to make it seem like it was your idea. But now that they're on trial, they're hooked up to a lie detector test and they don't know how to lie. Or maybe you're the one hooked up to a lie detector test because you're not a liar and you're telling the truth about everything, and then they're gonna have to, you know. And the thing about spiritual judgment, it's like, I interview you, I ask you questions, and then I'm gonna go, you know. So they probably asked them a bunch of questions and they lied about it. So, like the first judgment day, they asked questions and tried to get everything, tried to figure out what was going on. And then, you know, they compared notes. And then they're like, okay, this is the same, so maybe this is true. And these things are different, so maybe they're telling lies about this. And then they ask you again. They're like, okay, so explain this and blah, blah, blah. So you explain, and they have their whole little story put together already, blah, blah, blah. Then they hook you up to a lie detector test. And with this, you can't use no powers, no manipulator, no nothing. And they got caught up. And now they're trying to send stuff your way. But just protect yourself. Dizzy spells. They're trying to stop you from healing. They're trying to make you feel... Because I know that every time I do my healing, when I'm in these cards, I feel like people are trying to stop me by making me sleepy or dizzy, or like I'm gonna pass out or faint or whatever. Everything could be where you need it. So you have to count your blessings, because you're praying for everything. I don't know, but it's like you're praying for it and your blessings are coming, but you're so distracted by everything that you don't realize that your blessings are piling up and you're not using your blessings, or you're not receiving the reward of your blessings. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know how to explain it. But I do know that these niggas is crazy. Like, even though that's just because my mom always said that's something that they're gonna have to deal with their God. Like, they're going through judgment as we speak. So know your self-worth. Know what you expect from people and make them show that to you. Trust the process. You can't see it, but that's what it says. Because had I believed that this masculine didn't want me, well, I don't know. Because it's not even of the masculine. Like, okay, so when you did your healing, okay, example, my third party situation, like when he left to go to the karmic feminine, it really sent me over an edge. And it was like, what am I doing with myself? It made me question some things, and I was hearing these downloads like put the cards on the table, or put it all on the table, or da 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 da. So I thought it was me supposed to tell masculine what it was, and when I told him, that's when the karmic feminine was like, it ain't my fault you poured your heart out to him. And it's like, how she know what the fuck I said? Is she in your messages reading? Like, why is like... And that's when you realize that this masculine, like, I don't know, he can't defend himself in situations of aggressive women, because it puts him into a, like, that's trauma bonding. I don't even know what I was saying, but I'm finna go to the next one.